Good morning, afternoon, morning. I'm quite fired up to come and say what I'm here to say right now. I've just spent the morning having a really great catch up with a really dear friend of mine, the lovely Katie Ekonayaka. And we've just talked about quite a lot of stuff, and I know that Katie won't mind me sharing some of what we talked about, because actually she publicly came out talking about her whole journey last week with Mental Health Awareness Day. And, you know, I wanted to come last week and talk about what I saw on Mental Health Awareness Day, because what I saw was actually really, really powerful and profound, in that there were a lot of women that I know, very strong on the outside, appear to be these real power towers of strength, that came out and said, actually, do you know what? I wasn't okay. I wasn't okay when I put this message out there and professed to be this and claimed to be that. And, you know, when I talk about everything that I talk about, I come from a place of experience. When I talk about it, I come from a place of power, in that I don't sit here and talk bullshit about stuff that I've just read about. I talk about what I have actually lived. And you know, one of the things that kind of really gets my goat about the self-development industry is people selling to desperation, because there are so many humans on this planet that are broken. And they're broken because of the generational experiences that they've had. They're broken because of how they've lived their lives, and because of how people have projected on them that they should be. And the industry is full of this total, utter bullshit of 30 days to this and 60 days to that, and I'm going to change your life overnight, and all this total, utter shit. Because that is what it is. You know, I hold my hands up. I plugged into that when I first came into this industry. I came out with that with 6 steps to this and 30 days to that, and you know, all this stuff about online courses and make your money out of this and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what this world is really craving, and what it really, really needs, and the era that we are in right now? It is about connection, people. It is about this thing that drives your body, your heart. It is about what is going on in here. Because I am continually living what I am being guided to do here. And I have stepped into my power this year in a way that I've never done before. And do you know why? Because I've healed the stuff that is inside that needed healing. Because I was living from a place of complete desperation. And you know why my life wasn't working the way that I really wanted it to? Because I was not living my complete truth. I was living in a world where I was professing and pretending to be somebody that I wasn't, because I was too scared of all the judgment that is out there. I was too scared of what people were going to say about me. And do you know what? Does it matter? Because you're going to say it anyway. I've been having a conversation with this guy on LinkedIn who very obviously reached out because he's got some issues, and then kind of comes back and, you know, admits that whether, you know, I know it's a cover. He's jokingly saying that, you know, he's got an addiction to flirting with women on Facebook. And I said, oh, so what you've done then is kind of, because that's actually what you're attempting to do here. And what you've done is you've just literally switched platforms, haven't you? Because you did it on Facebook. You said you had counselling to fix this addiction, which very obviously didn't work, because all you've done is switched your platform. But then interestingly, he sent me a message, because I sent him a question yesterday, and he sent me a message back and then got really shitty with me because I didn't answer. Now, you know, let me just put something out there. Assumption, people, really dangerous. And I've just come back to him and I said, right, number one, don't have a go at me because I didn't respond. I am not that person that has notifications switched on my phone. The only things that I get notified about on my phone are text messages that come in and calls that come in. and WhatsApp messages. I have no notifications on any of my social media apps that are on my phone. My emails only upload once a day because I don't have it do that. Because do you know what? I am plugged into my world. I'm not plugged into the distractions that are going on around me. And do you know what has happened as a result of me being plugged into my world? I've healed so much shit that was stopping me. And I'm getting really passionate about this now, and I'm getting really high vibe about it, because you know what? There's too much out there saying you just got to do this and you just got to do that and follow this and follow that. And do you know what? The noise is so loud. It's so loud. And so now I'm being guided to calm it down. Because actually, do you know what we really need? We need to connect. We need to plug in to that heart and soul. We need to have that quiet so we can hear what our higher self is guiding us to hear. We absolutely are here to serve a purpose. And like I said, I was so engrossed in so much noise for so long that I couldn't hear what my own higher self was trying to tell me. I couldn't hear it because I wasn't allowing the silence for me to actually be tuned into it. And now that I've allowed that silence, now that I've unplugged, now that I've stepped back, now that I've healed so much of the stuff that was stopping me from doing that, the messages are thick and fast. They are thick and fast, and they are beautiful, and they are enlightening. And I no longer live in that world of desperation. Because do you know what? I was desperate for a life that I didn't even really know what it was. I was desperate because I felt broken, and I felt there was something inside of me that needed fixing, and I didn't know what it was. And when I really plugged into that with the amazing help of the phenomenal Tracy Harrison, who has Hamilton even, who has seriously helped me to heal my energy, and with the great insights from my amazing friend John Sherry, all of a sudden, seeds that I planted a really long time ago, and now really, like, they're not just starting to shoot, they are growing at a pace that I never imagined was possible. So don't get sucked into this desperation that Facebook is full of. You know, this morning I got tagged into somebody else's promotional post. I've never even had a conversation with this woman. Yes, I am her friend on Facebook, and that is a big learning for me. Connecting with people that I don't really know and that I don't make the time to message. And historically, I've got a lot of those on my profile. Now I'm working through not doing that, because I get a lot of friend requests. I get a lot of people that want to connect with me. But now it's about making the time to actually connect with those people on a soul-to-soul level. Because the universe is bringing to me, and my higher self is vibing into me, who it is that I am here to be connected with in this moment. There's a lot of people on this planet. There's always somebody out there that is going to help you, that is going to help you change and transform what is going on in your life. And when you come from that place of desperation, and when you plug into this, you are constantly plugging in to so many different things, and like I say, it's so busy. Your mind becomes so busy, and your mind becomes so busy because it is the thing that is driving you to be in this place of fear. Your heart in the background is screaming out and saying, give me the connection, allow me that connection, allow me to connect from this place here. But it's like the boss that if you work for yourself, if you're an entrepreneur, it's like the boss that you actually left that job to get away from, you've self-imposed. You have created your own version of that boss in here. And this, I worked on my mind for years, and I fully respect people that totally believe that the mind is where it's all about and that NLP fixes everything and all these things. And I fully respect that that's where you are. And I love that you love that. I love now that I know that that is not where it happens. I love that I know that I have been on this 20-year plus journey of evolution to get to where I am now. At the beginning of the year, if you watch some of the lives from me, from the beginning of the year, I talked about, I've been on this 7-year journey and no. Bullshit. I've been on a 20-year plus journey that started over 20 years ago when my great friend Charlotte gave me the Celestine Prophecy and said, read this, Claire, I think you'll really like it. And I read it and I felt like I'd come home. But when I say I felt like I'd come home, I got to the front door. I hadn't opened it. And the last 20 years has been about me opening that door and exploring every single room within that home that was created for me when I came here. And I've explored all those rooms on that level. I know that I will continue to explore those rooms and new ones will get added as I evolve on my journey. But you know what I want you to know today? I want you to know that actually, when you don't plug into this stuff, when you stand away from it, and when you plug into you, and you quieten that noise and you just let it go, the peace and the silence and the beauty that comes from that is like nothing I can describe to you. Because it's only when you actually experience it that you get what people are talking about when they talk about that place that they've been in. Your heart is 20,000 times more powerful than your mind. And, so many people live in an unconscious place of desperation. They just don't realise it. I didn't realise it. And then when I've stepped outside of it and I've moved away from it, boy, what a different place that is to be. So when we think about mental health and where I started talking about all those really powerful women that I saw standing out, being loud and proud, saying, yeah, I've been there. I've been at that place where I didn't want to be here anymore. And really considered what I would do to not be here anymore. I've been there. I know what that feels like. I know that some of the biggest challenges I faced, and I will still face, are all because there is a message for me to deliver here. I was literally reading this morning about part of my genes and about part of what I am here for, and I've asked the question for years, why have I experienced death in my life on the level that I have? I've never met anybody that has experienced as much death as me. Never. I'm sure that I will. I'm sure that that person is somewhere waiting for us to make that soul connection. But I finally, in the last 4 hours, got why it was. Because life and death is part of my genes. Detachment and learning to let go of that is part of who I am here to serve as. It's part of the message that I've got to share. And look at this. I'm seeing all these people popping up, and I'm sorry I'm not ignoring you and not speaking to you. And thank you for all the wonderful messages that have been coming through. I'm so engrossed in kind of being present with sharing this message for you, because now we've got this amazing platform. Who knew 10 years ago that Facebook Live was going to be a reality and that you no longer needed to get on TV to be able to share your message? You can do it right here, sitting in the comfort of your own home, in my little office with my crazy things on the walls. Being me, not being told by a producer how I need to show up and what I need to say. I'm my own producer. I am here to share my own message. And you know, if I can ask anything of you today, share this message. Because there is somebody in the world today that needs to hear this. And I get now this beautiful, beautiful opportunity to be able to sit here and say, this is my experience of life. I've said for years, a mantra that came to me a few years ago was being you. That's all you ever came here to be. And you know, it felt like it needed to grow. It felt like it needed to expand in some way. And again, reading what I read this morning, it just screams to me why now that came to me. And it came to me in a dream. Because being you is all you ever came here to be. You are not here to be a version of somebody else. You are here to be your absolute most wonderful, most beautiful, most soulful version of you. And you know what? Maybe money factors in that. Maybe it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Because, you know, I had to learn the hard way with money. I had to, you know, there were many times I said when things were really, really shitty, I have no clue why this, I just don't get this. I don't know why you want me to experience this. But as Steve says, you can't connect the dots looking forwards. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So it was in connecting those dots looking backwards that I knew that I had to experience money in the way that I did for me to be able to now share that with the people that come to me to say, look, it's not what you think it is. It's purely energy. It's purely currency. And when you actually come from that place of flow, and I listened to Abraham Hicks for years, and you know, I'm vibrating, I'm doing all these things. No, I wasn't. I might have thought in here that I was doing it, but the reality was I couldn't vibrate at that level until I fixed this bit. So think about that. Just take a couple of minutes if you've just watched this video to really think and feel what I've said. Go into your heart space and feel what I'm talking about, and maybe you need to watch this more than once. I don't even know how long I've talked for now. I'm going to stop in a couple of minutes, maybe not even that long, maybe in less than that. But I want you to be real. I want you to be raw. I want you to be honest, because the only person that you are lying to is you. And why would you do that? Why would you lie to yourself? Why would you be disingenuous to the most valuable asset that you are ever going to own? And that is your soul. You know, it comes here many times to live many, many purposes. I look at my little girl and I know that this is, I don't know how many lifetimes she's been here for, but she has come here for a very profound reason. Because the stuff that comes out of that child at 4 years old blows me away. She is my mirror of how I am becoming my most wonderful version of myself. And you've got mirrors all around you. So pay attention to those mirrors. Because sometimes it's pretty tough looking in the mirror. And I know that again. At the age of 29, I had a complete breakdown. And I looked in the mirror and I did not like the person that was looking back at me. And that's not a nice way to live. It's not a heartful way for us to be. And you know what? I knew that I was here to do something about helping other people change that. First, I had to do it myself. I beat myself up for years and years and lived in that energy of I should have done this and I should have done that. should have energy serves nobody. Should have energy holds you in that should have space. Detachment energy allows you to say, okay, it's gone. What do I do now? What is going to help me to change this now? Because right at this moment, time travel actually isn't possible in the way that we would like it to be. But insight is something that everybody possesses. And tuning into it and learning to harness it for your personal food, soul food, that's like nothing that you are ever going to learn until you experience it. So just do it. Just be it. Live in this moment. And please, not from a cheesy like, I want people to see me. Somebody you know needs to hear this message. Please share it for me. Thank you. And have a wonderful and blessed day. Much love to you all.